So I hope you can actually hear me because I haven't actually, you know, spoke to the microphone for a while. So yeah, it can be a bit, uh, you know, yeah. Anyway, as some of you may know, I have been a YouTuber for a long time. I mean, probably like over 8 years. So some of you, those who actually like, you know, care about what I do, might know that I would tease, stuff like OC runs and stuff like that. So the time has come. So yeah, this is like unscripted. I don't really want to spend much longer on the script because I don't really have time right now to like actually do that. Writing the script and stuff like that. So it's going to be mostly unscripted. I'm going to actually talk about my OCs, which means that I will actually go over them, like personality and stuff like that. Their lore and yeah. So I'm going to probably do it from the least important ones to the most important ones, lore-wise. And I figured I would start with Violet, because she doesn't really have much lore overall. But you'll see. You'll see. Yeah. So buckle your seats and, well, enjoy. Violet is a specific character of mine because she was supposed to be, the main character, at least in the, my main series. She was supposed to be the one that the story revolves around, which is why in the original gacha series, it starts with her, her walk to the school. However, over the time, she really changed to be a background character. Sometimes I even forgot about her existence, maybe for a few episodes, maybe like the later ones. So in short, she started just appearing less and less. And right now, well, I'm not really proud of what she has become, because she really has become sort of almost nothing burger of a character, which is why I later on tried to remake her lore. A part of why she really doesn't have much lore is because I had to scrap all of that and just remake her lore. Violet started as an really Undertale OC, I would say, because I was inspired by, well, Undyne, for the most of part. Mm, but she was supposed to be like the ideal version of me, or at least a better version of me. And so I really based her of what I wanted to be at the time, and I think she still is something like that for me. Uh, just a kind of better version of me, not an ideal one now. I can say that, but yeah, I think that's what she was supposed to be, like sort of an self-insert OC. Um, honestly, for a really long time, she was, well, insufferable. Other OCs would actually make fun of her. She was not taken seriously at all. Her personality was just a whiny brat. She was not someone you would actually care about. If anything, you would just find her annoying. She really only just cried and, complained. And she was just a crybaby, and yeah, not really someone to, base a story on. So yeah, I kinda just I kinda just remade her personality. Right now she's a really kind person, at least from the other OC's point of view. Sometimes she's clumsy, of course, she's still the clumsy one. She's also a bit naive as well, which is why she is kind of, sometimes getting manipulated by other OCs, for example, Fear. Uh, and, she's kind of like the cute idiot type of OC. But yeah, she's just sort of the naive but kind one, and she is the sort of like therapist friend. Most of my other OCs come to her if they actually want some advice. Maybe not the best advice, but if they want someone to just talk to, or someone to listen to their problems, Violet is the one they should go to. Because let's be honest, Fear is not the best person to go to if you want advice on anything, really. But I will actually make a separate video for him. As I said, I would just go over each one of my OCs. Originally, Violet was supposed to be to have sort of a hero moment, like kind of defeat Crystal, I think. But because the first really instance of the main series was just Noki Noki Literature. I can't I can't pronounce it. Sorry. So originally she was just supposed to be the hero of this series, but because Little Me wanted to have as many references to as many games as I could really do, the first really episode of Sapphire Hills Highschool was just the DLC knockoff. Crystal was Monica, I think Shadow was Yuri, T-Bone was Natsuki, and Violet was Sayori. and I think Mark was supposed to be the main character from the DLC, but with a twist, because what I had planned originally, it was just the DLC stuff, but with a twist at the ending, because instead of the main character just deleting Monica, it was supposed to be the main character just killing off Monica. So yeah, kinda more brutal take on the DLC stuff, because you would actually murder someone in well, the equivalent of real life, I guess. So yeah, it was always supposed to be kind of dark, and that was really what I had planned. But then I realized I would not have really any characters left other than Mark, so I had to really scrap all of that and just go off of something else, which is why I think I created Fear and Joel originally. It was just to make a kind of different story, sort of a continuation, but not really. And that's also when Violet really started to not really have anything to do, because I didn't really know what to do with her, and I think that's the case with most of the characters back then, because I just didn't know what to do with them, and so they would be just left in the background or just disappear completely. This is also the case with for example, Shadow. I didn't really have anything for her. She was just a background character, really. I really didn't have anything for her. So she started just disappearing from episodes, like not showing up at all. And I think what I did with her was the most plausible solution, because she disappeared. What happened to her? Well, someone killed her, and I think that was the natural way of changing the lore a bit, because it actually explains why she disappeared from the later episodes and parts. So yeah, Violet really didn't have anything going on for her, as I said earlier, but I couldn't really just kill her off screen, because she was my main OC. She still is my main OC, and I still love her for what she is. And then I had the idea to maybe make her tied to Mark a bit, which is why now canonically she's in love with Mark. They are together. If you don't know, they are together. Now I know this might sound like the typical Bali ex-victim ship, because Mark wasn't the greatest person. Canonically he used to Bali actually Violet. So I know this might sound like I'm just writing Stockholm syndrome maybe, but I have an explanation for this, because Mark actually changed over the years, and started to see his wrongdoings, and he actually wanted to be better. Unlike some other OC I have, which I will talk about later, in a later episode of this. But yeah, Violet was really the force that sort of also made him realize that being all stoic and isolated from everyone is not really the best idea. And when he started to learn about her, he was like, oh well, she's not actually that bad. She can be a good friend, if not ideal. And yeah, their bond started growing. Sort of just readjusting and changing from really the Balik's victim to actually, a meaningful one, a respectful one. So I don't really get why people think that Mark doesn't respect women. I mean, yes, he used to do well bad stuff in the past, but over the time he has changed and he has actually started to care about how his actions affect others, which is also what kind of makes him a better person, I think, because he actually started to care. And Violet was actually someone he apologized to first, I think, if I remember correctly. And Violet really was the one who, showed him the way, a different way in life. And yeah, they are together now. At least in canon. Because I do have alternate universes where they are not together, and instead just have other partners, but those are just alternate universes. So yeah, Violet really was the one who was always dear to me in a way, because she is one of my actual first OCs that I have had for a long time. She was, I think, the first one that I actually made from the Sapphire Hills Highschool crew. She actually appeared in some of my later earlier videos than Sapphire Hills High School. I think only as a cameo, a narrator, I think. But yeah, she was there, so yeah, she was the first OC I really made that stuck with me, because the other ones are, I think, only fanon versions of some fandom characters, for example the FNAF ones or the Undertale ones, and I am not really proud of that right now. Those were just kind of nonsensical, because really the story that I was doing would just fit better with, I think, a bunch of OCs rather than fandom characters, because let's be honest, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. Yeah. And Violet really was the first OC that I started to actually care about and make the story with her that would actually become meaningful to me later on in my life. Violet is actually someone who cares about T-Bone, and that's why T-Bone is sort of she actually likes her, I think, a bit, because T-Bone is, well, sort of a person that doesn't really trust any of this Sapphire Hills High School main crew, because well, I mean, it's understandable. If your caretaker dies in front of you, then I think you would start actually, not you would stop trusting others. So yeah, and Violet was the one who really started to make T-Bone trust in other people again. So I think that's nice. I don't really know what to say anymore. As I said, Violet is not really someone who has a lot of lore right now. Although I do have an idea with her, I had an idea with her, which was just making her, lost parents, lost biological parents, a rich family, which would actually, I think, kind of make sense. I don't really know what it would add to her as a standalone character, but I think it would make a cool, I think, contrast to some of the other OCs I have, because, for example, Mark still lives in his old house, that he used to live with his mother, actually. Because he's not really great with money. And Violet would just have a rich family, and I had the idea that her family wasn't really keen on her having the kind of friends she has, and there would be a conflict with her and her parents. I think that would be nice, but I don't really know if I will make it canon. I don't really think I will. This actually happened accidentally, because I just thought about it one day, and was and went to my old roleplay partner, hey, we can do that, and he was like, alright. But yeah, it didn't really turn out great, so I still don't know if I will make it canon, but we will see. I don't really know what to say anymore. I do insert her in the most fandoms I think I am in. So she kinda is my self-insert OC, if you exclude Idris, because Idris is kinda she's kinda an OC, but also not really an OC, and her really origins are complicated, and at least lore-wise, and she's not really an OC. She's just me, but then she also has her own lore. So it's interesting, actually. I might actually make an episode about her. I mean, she's nice to kind of talk about, because I could actually make a video about my factory, alternate universe, but right now I think I will just leave it at that. Some of you may know what it actually is, but yeah, I don't think I will elaborate right now, maybe in a future episode. So Violet started as an Undertale OC, and then really evolved into a character that was my main OC, and this is what she is right now. She She is my main OC, and I still adore her, and I like that I have changed her personality. I love how she grew with me. I like how she actually, changed some OCs for the better. I think this actually, reflects that I want to help others with better or worse results. But yeah, she is really based on me, and she doesn't really have as important role as the others, but they still like her. I mean, she was the one who really started it all, so I think she does have a role in Sapphire Hills High School, if not really one important in lore, then just a role that she started all of it. She started the story that has stuck with me for now over 8 years, I think. Maybe more, I don't know. But at least 6+ years from now. So yeah, she is who I really care about. She is an OC that I do care about, even if she doesn't really show up much in my videos maybe right now. But she is an OC that I do think fond of, and I hope that she will stay with me for a long time, as much as the other OCs, at least the main ones. I'm just kinda sad that I don't really draw her much. I have to change that. Anyway, I had a speed paint of her. However, it didn't really look good because I just screen recorded me drawing on the program, and you can actually see the color wheel sometimes and stuff like that, when it pops up, so it's not great. We can show it in the end, the finished product, but I don't know if I'm not going to show the speed paint. No, it's always that you had just a session, part of my session of Cult of the Lamp, which is really a video game I really like right now. I really got into it. I think it just matches what I like, which are the darker, I think, motifs, themes, mixed with a cute look. I mean, just look at one of my OCs. I think it's apparent that I like, darker stuff, and, grotesque things. So, yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying to the end. And I think that will be all for now. If I forget about anything, I might just make a follow-up video for this. But we will see. So yeah, that's it. See you soon. See you in the next video.